Welcome back, everybody, to the Gold IRA Blueprint. You know we like to do deep dives here, and today we're looking at something particularly interesting for all you American retirees out there. Gold IRAs.
Yeah.
Got some amazing material on this, especially about how gold can really protect your savings from inflation, and maybe even make estate planning a whole lot easier.
Yeah. What's really fascinating to me is how much interest there is in gold as a retirement asset these days,
Hmm.
especially from business owners who are really looking for a solid way to diversify their wealth beyond their company.
Absolutely. I mean, you've spent years building a successful business.
Yeah.
And as retirement gets closer, you're obviously thinking about protecting everything you've worked so hard for. And by the way, if you're interested in this, make sure to check out goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. You can grab a free checklist there. It'll really help you find the perfect gold IRA company for you. But okay, let's get back to it. What is it about gold that makes it so attractive for retirees, especially in the crazy economy we're living in right now?
Well, one of the biggest factors is inflation. You see, when prices for just about everything keep going up, the value of your dollar goes down, meaning your savings just don't buy as much as they used to. But gold is a tangible asset with real intrinsic value, and historically, it's held its worth incredibly well during times of inflation. Just look at the 1970s. During that stagflation, gold prices absolutely soared, while most other investments really struggled. That ability to hold strong against inflation, that's what makes gold so attractive to retirees, who are understandably worried about their savings losing value.
Oh, absolutely. It's almost like an insurance policy for your money.
Look at,
But couldn't you diversify with other things, like real estate or stocks? Wouldn't those do the same thing? What makes gold stand out, especially for someone who's built their wealth through a business?
that's a really smart question. And you're right, other assets have their place. But gold offers this really unique set of benefits, especially for business owners. For one, it provides true diversification because it doesn't behave like stocks and bonds do. So when the market takes a hit, gold often stays steady or even goes up in value, giving your portfolio that sense of stability.
So it's not just about beating inflation then. It's about weathering those market storms that can really hurt retirement savings.
Exactly. And remember, you spent years building a successful business. You already understand how important it is to diversify your risk. A gold IRA lets you apply that same principle to your personal finances as you transition into retirement.
You know what I'm seeing what you mean. It's like taking those hard-earned business lessons
Yeah.
and using them to build your retirement strategy. Now, the material you sent also mentioned estate planning. How does a gold IRA simplify things there?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. One of the biggest challenges for business owners is figuring out how to pass on their wealth to their heirs and doing it in a way that's efficient and minimizes taxes. A gold IRA can really streamline that process because it's a self-directed IRA. You have more control over how your assets are distributed, and you can potentially avoid a lot of the headaches of probate.
So it's not just about protecting your wealth while you're here. It's about making sure it goes to your loved ones smoothly. That's a big deal, especially when you're thinking about your legacy.
Absolutely. And because gold is so liquid, your heirs can easily convert it to cash if they need to. This gives them flexibility and options, which is really valuable in uncertain times.
It really is, especially these days.
Yeah.
So we've talked about gold as a hedge against inflation. We've talked about estate planning, but there's another piece of the puzzle here, taxes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
a big one.
Yep. Taxes are always a big deal, especially in retirement. And I know the research mentions something about tax-deferred growth, but to be honest, I always get a little confused with tax stuff.
Oh, I hear you. It can definitely be confusing.
So can you break that down for us?
Of course. So with a traditional gold IRA, you're basically delaying paying taxes on your investment gains until you withdraw the money. In retirement, this lets your investments grow more over time because you're not losing a chunk to taxes each year.
So it's like giving your money more time to grow before the tax man takes his share.
Exactly. And for business owners, there's another big advantage if you're selling your business and facing a huge capital gains tax bill. Converting some of those proceeds to a gold IRA could potentially lower your taxable income in the year of the sale.
Wow, that's a significant benefit, especially if you're getting a big payout from the sale. You know, we've been talking a lot about the good stuff with gold IRAs, but is there anything to watch out for? Any downsides or risks?
Well, like any investment, there are pros and cons to consider. While gold has generally held its value well over time, it's important to remember that prices can fluctuate in the short term. Global demand, economic conditions, even geopolitical events. These can all affect the price of gold. So if you're looking for a quick return, gold might not be the best fit.
Right. It's not about getting rich quick. It's a long-term strategy.
Exactly. And another thing, gold IRAs, unlike some other investments, don't generate income like dividends or interest payments. So if you need your IRA for regular income in retirement, a gold IRA might not be the only solution.
So it's more about protecting what you have.
Right. It's about safeguarding your purchasing power, making sure your savings keep their value, especially when the economy is uncertain.
You mentioned earlier that with a gold IRA, you can choose from different types of gold investments. What did you mean by that?
I thought it was just buying gold bars or coins. It can be that simple, but you actually have a few options within a gold IRA. You can invest in physical bullion, gold ETFs, even gold mining stocks, all within your IRA. Each option has its own risks and potential returns. For example, physical gold bullion is usually considered the most stable, but you have storage costs to think about. Gold ETFs are easier to trade and more liquid, while gold mining stocks can give you higher returns, but they're more volatile.
Wow, that's a lot to consider. It sounds like you really need a good financial advisor to figure out what mix is right for you.
Absolutely. A financial advisor can help you navigate all the complexities of gold IRAs, assess your risk tolerance, and help you choose the right combination of gold investments to meet your retirement goals.
That makes sense. It's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening who's interested in a gold IRA, what's the first step?
Well, the most important thing is to really educate yourself about gold IRAs, how they work, and what the potential benefits and risks are.
And that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive would be a great place to start right. It can help people get on the right track.
Absolutely. It's a great roadmap for understanding the basics and choosing the right company for your needs.
Okay, so education is key. But once you feel good about your understanding of gold IRAs, what's next?
The next step would be to connect with a qualified financial advisor. They can help you evaluate your overall financial picture, your investment goals, and your risk tolerance to figure out if a gold IRA is really the right fit for you.
So it's about getting personalized guidance.
Exactly.
And a financial advisor can also help with the practical stuff, like choosing a custodian, selecting investments, and handling the paperwork.
Right. They can really simplify the process and make sure you're making smart decisions every step of the way.
It sounds like it. So we've covered a lot of ground here, but let's not forget one crucial aspect: patience.
Ah, yes, patience. That's so important.
How does patience fit into a successful retirement strategy,
Mm.
especially with gold IRAs?
Building a secure and fulfilling retirement isn't a race. It's a long game. You've spent years building your business with careful planning and smart decisions. Those same principles apply to your retirement portfolio. A gold IRA can be a valuable part of that long-term plan. But it's not about getting rich quick or trying to time the market perfectly. It's about steadily preserving your wealth, riding out the ups and downs, and letting your investments grow over time.
So you're saying resist that temptation to chase the quick wins and focus on the long game.
Exactly. Remember, gold has historically held its value remarkably well over long periods. It's often a safe haven when the economy gets shaky. That stability and resilience make it a very attractive option for those who want to protect their savings and ensure a comfortable retirement.
That makes sense. It's about taking that same wisdom and discipline that made you successful in business and applying it to your retirement planning. So what's your final piece of advice for our listeners who are considering a gold IRA?
I'd say the most important thing is to remember balance and perspective. A gold IRA can be a fantastic tool, but it should be part of a diversified retirement plan. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Work with a qualified financial advisor to create a portfolio that aligns with your risk tolerance, your investment goals, and your vision for a comfortable and fulfilling retirement.
That's great advice. It's not about going all in on gold. It's about using it strategically as part of a broader plan that fits your individual situation. Well, this has been an incredibly insightful look at gold IRAs. We've covered so much, from gold as a hedge against inflation, to the importance of diversification and patience, and of course, getting expert guidance.
It's been a pleasure talking about all of this with you, and I hope our listeners feel ready to take the next step in their retirement planning.
And for those of you who are ready to explore gold IRAs further, don't forget to visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. That's where you can find that free checklist we mentioned. It's a great resource to help you navigate the process and choose the right gold IRA company for you. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with more fascinating topics as we continue to explore the world of personal finance together.
Sounds great.
Until then, take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And of course, we can't forget about the tax advantages. You've worked hard to build your wealth, and minimizing those taxes is a smart move, especially in retirement.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Taxes are a big consideration. And I remember that term from the research, tax-deferred growth.
Yeah.
Honestly, I always get tripped up by tax terminology. Can you break that down for us?
Absolutely. So basically, with a traditional gold IRA, you're delaying paying taxes on any investment gains until you actually take the money out in retirement. So your investments have more time to potentially grow. You're not losing a portion every year to taxes.
So it's like giving your money extra time to compound before you owe anything.
Precisely. And for business owners, there's an even bigger potential advantage here. If you're selling your business, you might be facing a hefty capital gains tax bill, right? Converting a portion of those proceeds to a gold IRA could actually reduce your taxable income in the year of the sale.
That's a huge benefit, especially if you're dealing with a large sum from selling your business. So we've talked a lot about the positives of gold IRAs, but for the sake of balance, are there any downsides, any risks we should be aware of?
Well, of course, every investment comes with pros and cons. And while gold has historically performed well, you have to remember that gold prices can go up and down in the short term. They're affected by things like global demand, overall economic conditions, even geopolitical events. So if you're looking for a quick return, gold might not be the right fit.
Right, it's not about a quick profit, it's about long-term strategy.
Exactly. And another thing to keep in mind, gold IRAs, unlike some investments, they don't generate income. Like you wouldn't get dividends or interest payments. So if you're relying on your IRA for a regular income stream in retirement, a gold IRA might not be the sole solution.
Got it. So it's more about protecting what you've already earned and potentially seeing it grow over time.
Precisely. It's about protecting your purchasing power, ensuring those savings hold their value, especially when things are uncertain.
Earlier you mentioned that a gold IRA gives you choices. When it comes to types of gold investments, can you explain that a little more? I thought it was just gold bars and coins.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. But you actually have a few more options. Within a gold IRA, you can invest in physical gold bullion. You can invest in gold ETFs. And you can even invest in gold mining stocks, all within the structure of your IRA. Now, each option has its own risk profile and potential returns. Physical gold bullion is generally considered the most stable, but you do have those storage costs. Gold ETFs offer more liquidity, they're easier to trade, and then you have gold mining stocks, which can offer potentially higher returns, but they are subject to market volatility.
So many options. It sounds like a financial advisor is key here to help figure out the right mix for each person.
Absolutely. A good financial advisor can guide you through all of this, help you assess your risk tolerance, and choose the right combination of gold investments for your specific goals.
That makes perfect sense. It's definitely not one size fits all. So for anyone listening who's really intrigued by the idea of a gold IRA, what would you say is the first step?
The most important step is to learn as much as you can about gold IRAs, how they work, what are the potential benefits, what are the risks.
And I bet that free checklist we talked about earlier at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive would be a fantastic starting point.
Absolutely. It's a great resource to help you understand the basics and choose the right company.
Okay, so education is key. But once someone feels confident in their understanding, what's next?
The next step would be to talk to a qualified financial advisor. They can help you look at your overall financial picture, your investment goals, your risk tolerance, and really determine if a gold IRA is right for you.
So getting that personalized guidance.
Exactly.
And I imagine an advisor can help with the practical side too, like choosing a custodian, selecting specific investments, handling all the paperwork.
Absolutely. They can help simplify the process and make sure you're making informed decisions every step of the way.
That's fantastic. Now we've covered so much ground today, but I think there's one crucial element we need to talk about: patience.
Oh, yes. Patience is essential.
How does patience fit into a successful retirement strategy, especially when it comes to gold IRAs? Having a trusted financial advisor can make all the difference when you're navigating the world of gold IRAs. And for anyone who's just getting started, that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive is an awesome resource. It'll guide you through those first steps and help you find a reputable company.
It really is a valuable tool for anyone considering a gold IRA. And as you learn more about this, there's another really important part of retirement planning that I think often gets overlooked, especially for people like you who are used to taking charge and seeing results, and that's patience.
Patience. That's interesting. How does that play into a successful retirement strategy,
Oh, man.
especially with gold IRAs?
Well, you see, building a secure and fulfilling retirement, it's not a sprint, it's more like a marathon. You spent years building your business, with careful planning and strategic decisions. And those same principles apply to your retirement portfolio. A gold IRA can be a really valuable part of that long-term strategy. But it's not about getting rich quick or trying to time the market perfectly. It's about steadily preserving your wealth, weathering the inevitable economic storms, and just letting your investments grow over time.
So it's about resisting that urge to chase the quick gains
Yeah.
and focusing on a slow and steady approach.
Exactly. And remember, gold has historically held its value incredibly well. Over long periods, it's often seen as a safe haven when there's economic uncertainty. And it's that stability and resilience that make it so attractive for people who want to protect their hard-earned savings and make sure they have a comfortable retirement.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like taking that same wisdom and discipline from your business and applying it to your retirement planning. So before we wrap up, what's one final piece of advice you would give our listeners who are thinking about adding a gold IRA to their portfolio?
I would say the most important thing is to remember balance and perspective. A gold IRA can be a powerful tool for wealth preservation, but it should be part of a well-diversified retirement plan. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Work with a qualified financial advisor to build a portfolio that truly aligns with your risk tolerance, your investment goals, and your overall vision for retirement.
That's great advice. It's not about going all in on gold, but rather about incorporating it strategically as part of a bigger plan. Well, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into gold IRAs. We've covered so much, from the potential benefits of gold as a hedge against inflation, to the importance of diversification, patience, and of course, seeking expert guidance.
It's been a pleasure discussing all this with you, and I hope our listeners feel empowered to take that next step in their retirement planning journey.
Absolutely. And for those of you ready to learn more about gold IRAs, don't forget to check out that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's a fantastic resource to help you get started and find the right company for your needs. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back soon with more fascinating topics as we continue to explore the world of personal finance together. Until then, take care.